Morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the game program presentation. Today, I'm going to present three programs, so hopefully we have enough time for questions as well. But the three programs that we're going to discuss today are the Game Arts, Game Design, and Concept Art for Entertainment program. Now, at George Brown, we have quite a few game programs, as you can see from our program map. I believe earlier today around 9 o'clock, there was a presentation for our game programming program. And so I'm pretty sure that you might be able to catch that in a recording. But to show you the programs at the School of Design, as I mentioned, we do have our Game Art program. For students that don't qualify for that program, I would also recommend that you look into the Art and Design Foundation certification. And that program could lead into the Game Art program. And as a matter of fact, it prepares students for their portfolios, as well as portfolios to submit to our Game Art program. Our game design and our concept art for entertainment programs, these are one-year postgraduate programs. So both of those programs do require that applicants have a degree or diploma. And I'll discuss more about the application requirements in a bit. Now, to give you a bigger picture of the Game Art program, so this program is a 3-year undergraduate program, and it has 2 specializations, one in game modeling and the other one in game animation. Students are going to choose their specialization after a first year of core studies. So basically, we'll prepare students, we'll introduce them to many of the different art topics that then they're going to expand on in second year. And once again, in second year, that's where they're specialized, which also means that the courses that they're going to be taking will be predetermined. This program has, we've offered it for quite some time now. It's been about 12, 13 years. We've had lots of graduates and quite a bit of success, I would say. If you were to monitor some of the game competitions that are happening, I do know that next week, Ubisoft in Toronto will be announcing the Ubisoft Next winners. Feel free to check that out. We always have winners, and the winners receive a job, a full-time job at Ubisoft. And case in point, our graduate employment rate is really high for this program. It's around 80% consistently. But I would also say that the program itself is very competitive. So I do get questions from applicants. How many applications are we going to be accepting for September? And I'll tell you that it's going to be within a range of 90 to 120 students. Just to show you some of the requirements for the program. Now, you can find all this information on our program page, and I have pasted the links that I'm sharing in the chat as well. So feel free to navigate to those pages. But for the Game Art program, the OSSD or equivalent, so Ontario Secondary School Diploma or equivalent, and grade 12 English, university or college are required. On top of that, you're going to be asked to submit an application questionnaire and an art portfolio. On this slide, you will see some samples of art that applicants have submitted, and they were successfully accepted into the program. So this should give you an idea of what to aim for. But I can tell you that we do accept all forms, all mediums of artwork. We favor sketches, drawings, paintings, both digital as well as traditional. I would say if you were to submit a good mix between the two, that's what we're really looking for. And you can submit up to 10 pieces. The application questionnaire is just a form that's going to be shared with you through a website. And so you would just complete your responses. The questions are centered around what do you expect to study in the program? If you were to graduate from our program, where would you want to work? Those types of questions. In terms of the courses, so I already mentioned that our first year of Game Art is an introductory year. And so we'll concentrate on building 2D skills primarily and traditional skills as well as digital. So you'll notice that there's courses that do vary between digital mediums or traditional mediums. For example, drawing is traditional, digital art is going to be on the computer. And our students will learn how to use a tablet. This is a drawing tablet, so don't confuse it with an iPad or an Android tablet. It's a drawing tool where you have a pen. Actually, I do have one here. And basically, you'll be drawing on a screen. So to learn that, it's also a skill in itself. We do provide tablets to all of our students, even though hopefully, fingers crossed, even though we don't know yet whether we'll be on campus in September or not. But if we are, we also have amazing equipment on campus. And just to let everybody know, I always brag about this one. We have 27-inch Cintiq tablets. So they're really, really big monitors that you can draw on. Very cool. As you can see, in the first year of the program, students are also going to learn modeling and animation. And those are both introductory courses. I think these courses are fundamental for students to decide what they want to specialize in the following year. So students will typically use what they learn in these courses to decide whether they want to specialize in modeling or specialize in animation. And besides that, students will always have an opportunity to use a game engine and take all the artwork that they created and bring it to life, right? Be able to control it, stuff like that. In terms of game engines, we use Unity and Unreal 4, although we will be switching to Unreal 5 when it comes out. In terms of internships, now at George Brown, we don't call working at a company while you're in school a co-op or an internship. We name them field placements. And what that means is students will receive course credit for the work that they do. Now, the work does vary, especially with these programs. To a certain extent, we have programs related to game development that tackle all areas that a game studio would tackle. So essentially, we do have, quote unquote, a game studio. And we do find that a lot of our students participate in field placement just internally within the school. And many students try to publish their games, which is a great opportunity. I will show you a game later on that was published with Nintendo. And I would say that a lot of students look forward to this process in the Studio Lab courses, which you'll see are every semester. So they're offered in semester 1 all the way up to semester 6. In going back to the field placements, I would say that in third year, that's where I see a lot more students participating in a field placement with an external studio. So that means they're working at a studio in Toronto or elsewhere, and they complete whatever tasks that studio assigns. Ultimately, most times the studios do hire the students that are working on a field placement, but students in first and second year also have similar opportunities. So I find that those students will work on the games that our postgraduates are developing with the undergraduate students. To show you some of the courses in our second and third year, now this is the modeling specialization. And I'm going to sort of separate them by theme. So thematically in second year, students will focus on creating environments, landscapes. They'll focus on creating buildings, both exterior and interior. And they'll also learn modeling skills, but texturing skills as well, so that they can really bring those pieces to life. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, they will have an opportunity to bring their art into a game engine. And so that's what our level design courses are. And similar to first year, they'll also have an opportunity to complete a field placement. In their third year, the focus is going to be on character modeling. So you'll see organic modeling, 3D sculpting. They'll learn lots of software. Now, I'm going to paste in the chat a listing of some of the software that we teach in our programs. This is the major software, although we do have a few more packages that we provide our students. Our students will also learn how to create a cinematic. So as opposed to an interactive game, they'll have an opportunity to see what it's like to create a rendered video as well. And I mentioned this because I do find that a lot of our students, once they graduate, they might end up in animation studios as opposed to game studios. So there are really two job outcomes that our students have, which is great. Really opens up the opportunities. And I would say that Toronto right now is booming when it comes to both game development companies that are searching for employees, as well as animation studios. To give you a picture of the animation curriculum, now in second year, unlike the modeling specialization, our students in second year will learn a bit more about characters, and in particular, they need to study anatomy, they need to understand how the human body moves, because ultimately they're going to be animating those body parts. And students also have some technical courses. So for example, rigging is the process of creating a digital skeleton for your character so that you can later move it. Our students will have an opportunity to use motion capture technology, and we have 3 motion capture systems on campus. In third year, our students will focus on animating, and so the skills are less technical, a bit more creative. They'll also learn how to act, and we do teach some acting classes, some improv, some stunt classes, stuff like that. So students will know how to direct motion capture actors when they're recording motion capture. One last thing that I wanted to mention is during the last year, both the modeling and the animation specialization will focus on developing their portfolio. And so there are portfolio courses that are available, although I can say that a lot of our faculty coach our students all throughout the 3 years that they're in the program. I do a lot of that, and I do meet with a lot of our graduating students. If you attended the previous presentation, you probably heard that we have a year-end show in a couple of weeks. I do believe that the link to the year-end show is in the chat, so please feel free to attend the show. You'll be able to see lots of student portfolios and some really, really great work. Now, moving on to our postgraduate program. So once again, these are programs that require applicants to either have graduated from a diploma program or a degree program in a related field. Related field is a bit of a gray area when it comes to game design, because really game design brings many different disciplines together. So things that I can tell you is that some of the more popular disciplines that our applicants come from, definitely computer science programming, art, fine arts, animation, game arts, anything game related, of course. But then we have graduates from English literature, or poli-sci graduates, civil engineering, business. So really, you could come from a variety of different backgrounds. I would suggest that if you are interested in this program, you're also immersed in the gaming world. To a certain degree, you should be in that world, really, right? And just to give you some more information about how many students we accept into the program, this program is very, very competitive, and we will accept up to 20 students in a calendar year. This is also the oldest program that we've offered. Now, the word design does confuse a lot of people. So just to clarify what game design is, we don't teach any art in this program. And so once again, that design word does not mean art. We also don't teach any programming. Although I can tell you that a lot of our applicants pick up those skills while they're in the program. But really what we focus on is creating systems, And if you think of a game as a system, what we're doing is we're creating the mechanics. So basically, how does the game work? What's the story for the game? Who are the characters? How do you interact? And finally, how do you make it fun, right? So we tackle all of those items. This, by the way, Runbow is the game that I mentioned earlier that a big group of students published while they were in school. So I'd encourage you to check it out. Just Google search Runbow or 13 a.m. games. And that was the first set of students that managed to publish their games. We've been able to do this every year since those students graduated. So it's quite an accomplishment. And as you can see from our employment rate, it's at 100%. Now, if you ask me, where do our students go once they graduate? So that's a tough question for me to answer because I do find that some of our students work for companies and that's what they want. But on the flip side, other students want to open their own studios. And so we try to make that happen. In terms of the application requirements for this program, I already mentioned that applicants should have a degree or diploma. From there, you will be asked to submit a resume, an application questionnaire, and a portfolio. Your portfolio should be based on what you graduated from in university or college. So whatever your background is, I would suggest probably take a look at some of the assignments that you completed. If you have some work experience, some professional work that you've done, include that in a package, and that's your portfolio. Okay, we want to see what you've done in the past, and you should convince us that you want to be part of the game design team that we're assembling. The application questionnaire is a form similar to game art, so that one will be forwarded to you. And the interviews this year, to be honest, we haven't been having any interviews. We have been having more one-on-one question and answer periods if that's needed. But just due to COVID, it's been very difficult to conduct the interviews. So when you are prompted for an interview, you'll be asked instead of the interview whether you want to have a question and answer period. To show you some of the courses that our students are taking, and there's a clear divide between design courses, but another discipline that we teach is production. And I would say that's the more businessy side of the gaming industry. In terms of design, we teach all of our students how to create story for games, how to create game mechanics and those systems that I mentioned earlier, how to make games fun, and how to assemble them. So that's what level design is. But we also teach our students how to manage a studio, how to manage their resources. For example, how do you manage artists versus programmers? How do you communicate with these people? How do you document your games, and how do you sell your games? Finally, our students will be developing lots of games. Just looking back, we're about to wrap up the school year. And I would say that our students this year created about 50 proof of concepts. So very, very small game-like things. But out of that, 8 games are going to be published. And in a couple of weeks, they're going to be releasing those games. So once again, please attend the year-end show and you can check out those games. During the summer, our students will also be taking courses. And while during the school year, they're going to be working with a really big team to assemble a bunch of games. During the summer, they have an opportunity to work on a personal project that they've already proposed and it's been approved. So for the next 4 months, they're going to be working on this personal project, and that could either result in a portfolio piece or a published item. Our final program that's part of the game programs is our Concept Art for Entertainment program. This is also a postgraduate program. Similar to the game design program, it is a 1-year program, and we accept up to 20 students in a calendar year. Unlike our game design program, so our game design program is our oldest program, our concept art program is our youngest, and it's crazy to think that we've been offering this for 5 years now. We've also had quite a few graduates, so also 100% employment rate. This program is very much in demand from employers. And in terms of application requirements, now you should have a degree or diploma, and it should be specifically in the arts. So a fine arts degree, a graphic design degree or diploma, something of that nature, right? But besides that, very similar to the game design program, you will be asked to submit a resume, an application questionnaire, and a portfolio. The portfolios, of course, for concept art should be artwork. And predominantly, you should have artwork that is 2D/3D. Cindy, I see you have your hand up. I know I'm running short on time. I think I have 2 more minutes. Just to share some of the courses that we offer in the program. So there is quite a variety of different topics. The whole goal of this program is that you're already a trained artist, and really what you want to do is you want to amp up your skills in particular areas so that you can develop concept art for a variety of different industries. Some of the industries that we target, the game and film industry, of course, but also the illustration industry, marketing industry, cartooning industry. And some of the courses that we offer will vary. So there's environment courses, there's also character-based courses. We'll teach the process of creating artwork for the various industries. And similar to the game design program, our students will be working on projects throughout the school year. Now, during the first 2 semesters, they'll work with our game design students and act as art directors for the games, or they can work with our digital production, our video students, and they'll be art directors creating concept art for film. Similar to the game design program, during the summer, our concept art students will be working on a thesis. I'm going to skip these slides and direct you towards the links for each one of the programs that I spoke about. I think we have like a couple of minutes for some questions, and I see that there are some questions. Okay, so someone is telling me that they received their offer for the game art program in September. So in regards to field placement, once you're in the program, if I believe that you're probably asking a field placement question because you're an international student. So yes, we do have some field placement counselors that will be able to help you with obtaining a work permit so that you can work. But I think it might take a few weeks once you start your classes, but nothing to worry about, because really it's going to take us a few weeks to ramp up, right? So if you were to start in September, I would say that the field placements won't start until October anyways. Okay, I see another question, and this one's also from an international student. To answer your question, so absolutely, if you graduated from a graphic design program and if you're interested in game design, we have had graphic designers that have been accepted into the program. Interested in taking 2 programs, I mean, that's great. I would say that we have had students that have completed 2 of our postgraduate programs. For example, I have had students that have completed game design and then concept art. If that's something that you're interested in, I would suggest doing them staggered as opposed to simultaneously. These programs are really heavy in terms of personal demand. So, meaning that the more you put into the program, the more you're going to get. You don't want to take both programs at the same time. You want to experience the one individual program. And yes, absolutely. Please feel free to apply for September. We're currently accepting for September for all 3 programs. And I suspect that we're going to be accepting all the way up to the end of July, even though the programs are getting pretty full. And usually around June, that's when they start to get really full. Cindy, I'm just going to keep on going and answering questions until you cut me off, okay?
No problem. You have another 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, perfect.
I'll also provide some information in the chat in case you want to continue Q&A. You can move to the Q&A room.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I am going to answer this last question because it's an interesting one. So given the fact that we're teaching remotely, how are we managing to draw? And that's a great question. So all of our students have been sent tablets. Now, during the pandemic, I know that I've said that our students will draw traditionally, but we've had to switch to digital entirely. So in our drawing classes, our students will be using those tablets that I mentioned, and they'll be able to share their screen very similar to the way I'm doing this, right? And they can draw in real time while the teacher is helping them out. You might have noticed that there's a feature in Zoom. We don't use Zoom to teach, but we also have a similar feature where you can take over somebody's computer. Very useful when we're teaching drawing.